Hello there, my loves. You are welcome back to another week on the Shishram podcast. I am the host on here. If you are not familiar with the platform, my name is Courage, and I am super happy that you are here. It takes so much to listen to an audio episode, so I just want to say I'm so proud of you and I welcome you. I encourage you to just get comfortable because we're just going to have a chat today. We're going to be talking about how to align your life again, and this means you creating balance that reflects your true values, your desires, and your priorities. So today I will break it down into a step-by-step approach. But before we get into that, I know you're listening to an audio right now, or maybe you're watching on YouTube. We do have some video episodes with a few guests here and there that I really encourage you to go click on them. You can either watch on Spotify or on YouTube, and you can also catch up with the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Share it with a friend. When you listen to an episode that aligns with you and maybe you just resonate and you think a friend would love it, do help us share, subscribe, and follow, because that helps the account, or that helps the podcast to be discovered by many other people. And today is actually the last episode of what I'm still trying to find a name for it, but I'm so grateful that we could get up to episode 87. So this is our episode 88, and this will be the last of its kind. And I'm really excited about just so many things the Lord is doing and the ideas that He's been dropping into my heart, and I cannot wait to share them with you all as we progress and as they uncover. So if you're not connected to the Instagram, I really encourage you guys to hop on there, because that's where everything gets out first, Instagram and TikTok. So I have some really exciting news coming up next month, and we'll just see how the podcast takes a U-turn from there. But I'm super excited about it. I am so grateful to all those who've been with me on this journey up until episode 88. We had more episodes though, but when Spotify did the whole revamp thing, we lost a bunch of our episodes, and that's why we are on 88 right now. But I just feel like this is the perfect 88, and God wanted it to be so. So enough of me talking about all these things. I just really wanted to say thank you guys. And also, I've just been having this splurge of energy over the last couple of months. I think if you listen to one of my episodes that I had, a friend of mine, Celeste, come on, the mental health coach, who was sharing with us about, some of her struggles and how she had to come out on the other side. I shared a brief about my journey with anxiety and how it took a different turn at a particular point in my life, when I got to a place where I felt that God was actually trying to show me that there's more to life than you being anxious all the time. And He was also trying to tell me that, Courage, you're not always going to be anxious. And it was just I think it was a beautiful season in my life, because I think for some reason I thought that would be like how life would be, because things were just always spiraling and turning and I didn't know what to do. So I just felt like God brought this wave of peace into my heart, into my mind, into my soul, and just my entire being, which I still don't have enough words to describe them. And He did that because He was trying to show me that there is more. Now, I know someone might be listening to me and they are not experiencing this peace that I'm talking about. Maybe you're so struggling with like being anxious about every single thing in your life, waiting for something to go wrong, or maybe things are really not working out for you and you're like, this is it. I just really want to give you hope. I want to encourage you to just dig a little bit deeper with yourself and with God. And I'm telling you, you're going to find something that's so much more beautiful. Because I think God, in His infinite mercy, He sees us and He's always with us. And if you open your heart and just listen just a little bit more, you're going to hear Him teaching you ways, showing you how to do life with Him in a way that, yes, I know the Bible says it 365 times. Is it do not worry, or I don't know. Do not fear, guys. Do not fear. That's what the Bible says 365 times. Do not fear. Aside from fear, we do know about all these portions of the word where Jesus is like, do not be anxious for everything, because I'm going to take care of everything. I mean, I'm Jesus. I mean, I care for you. I mean, if I could clothe the lilies and feed the birds, what more can I do with you, who is made in my image? And I just think that when you fully understand that portion of scripture, there is this different awakening that it breeds on you, because right now I feel like sometimes I look at myself and I just think about it. I'm like, I'm made in the image of God. I am literally made in the image of God. So why then should I be thinking less of myself? Why then should I be expecting the worst possible situations out of everything when I'm made in the image of God and He is paying attention to me, He's listening to me, He's talking to me, He's walking with me? Why then should I put myself in a place of constant worry and constant hurt? And I think sometimes those things have to happen. You have to have this aha moment in your life where you're like, okay, for me, I had to put my foot down. You just have to put your foot down at a particular point in your life and say no to stress, say no to anxiety. And then because I feel like it's an invitation. God is just waiting for you to like invite Him into those areas of your life. Like, I know you've been doing it, you've been praying about it, but there needs to be a certain level of tenacity that you have with that prayer and that focus that you have in these areas of your life. Now, I don't know why I'm going on and on and on about you just like coming into a place where God really wants you, but I just really believe that someone needs this. I know at the beginning of the year your plans look very overwhelming, life looks very overwhelming, some people look like they're doing better than you, and sometimes things are working out the way you thought they would, sometimes it doesn't look the way you wanted it to, but actually it just looks unfamiliar because it's new to you. But I just know that when something looks unfamiliar, and sometimes because it's new, it's uncomfortable, I know that God is in it because you're not used to it. It's the first time you're experiencing it. But I just want to comfort someone and give someone peace right now that there is something beautiful on the other side of everything that you're going through. The only thing I'd really love to encourage you is just to trust God with all of it. Like, when you're afraid, which I know it's a normal human thing, like fear is something that we all feel it. It's a human response to life. But I think sometimes when you get to a place where you understand that I'm just afraid because I am not in control of the situation, and I don't because you want all the answers. The human mind wants to figure everything out, wants to understand everything. And we feel fear when we are uncertain about, life and everything in between. But the beautiful thing with walking with God is that He has you. He's got it all figured out. Like, he's walking with you, He's covering you, and He's just leading you. So I think you just need to trust God a little bit more. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is doable. It is doable. Trust God a little bit more with your life, with every single thing. I think in the last picnic we had this session where the mental health coach was talking, and then she was asking people like, how are you doing, how are you feeling right now, how are you really doing, like just to check in on people. And then we were all sharing where we are at in life. And then there was this beautiful lady who was like, I don't mean to throw the mood off, that was how she started, but to be honest, I'm in a really good place. And she was like, I had been depressed for 3 years. I had gone through the motion, so I can relate with everyone who is like going through one thing or the other. I can relate with you. But right now, I'm in such a beautiful place. And it was such a beautiful thing to hear, And the mental health coach was like, that's amazing. Like, it's beautiful for you to celebrate that. Like, I think sometimes, because we live in the current culture where I feel like sometimes we celebrate the bad more than the good, which is so off-putting if you really think about it. Like, I feel like we are happy when people say, oh, I'm depressed, or we're happy when they say, oh, I'm anxious, because sometimes when you hear that people are struggling with stuff, it makes you kind of feel better about yourself. You're like, I'm not the only one going through this, which is good. It's good to know that you're not alone in your struggles, because sometimes when you feel alone, it isolates you because you feel isolated in that struggle. But the truth is, we are all going through something, and for someone to say, I'm in a really good place right now, doesn't mean they're void of struggles, doesn't mean something is not going on in their lives. At every single particular point in your life, even the biggest millionaire has a problem. So we all have issues, but it's beautiful when you can get to a place where you're like, I'm really good, even though stuff is going on with me. I've just gotten to a place where I trust my creator, that he has all of these things under control. And it was just a very beautiful thing to hear from her. Like, I can sit right now and tell people, like, I'm fine, like, I'm doing good, I'm at a really good place in life, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And that is my testimony right now. But a few months ago, a year ago, I wouldn't have been saying that. So people have traveled a certain kind of road before they reach where they are, where they can say, I'm doing good, I'm at a good place in life, and I'm really grateful to God because I prayed to get here. And that is just it's a testament of God's faithfulness, and it's a testament that He has His eyes on us. So I just went on a whole tangent there, but I just really want to encourage you, right? As we're talking about aligning your life again, if maybe you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like I need some change, you're feeling like some things are not going well, maybe you've attached your self-worth and your value to some things that are shakeable, which it is. Your identity is only supposed to be rooted in Christ, because that's the only firm foundation we have. Your job will fade away, those friendships that you're clinging on to will fade away, and I'm not saying you're going to lose all your friends, please. I'm just saying, like, the human things that the things that are physical that we cling on to and we put our validation on, or our worth and our value on, they all will fade away. The only thing that remains is Jesus. The only thing that remains is this firm foundation in Him, and your identity should be rooted in Him. If it is not, you're going to be struggling for a very long time, and you only have this one soul. This is something my pastor mentioned today at church. He was like, you only got this one, only this life, this one. So take care of it, pay attention to it, and let it lead you back to Jesus. That's so beautiful. So I'm gonna quickly share some 8 things that I will be practically applying it in my life. I've been applying some of them already, and I just really feel called to share it with you guys as we round off this chapter of the podcast, and then we move on to whatever the Lord has in store for us in the future. So the first one for you to align your life again is to reconnect with yourself. So this would mean you spend time in reflection, you identify your priorities, and you set intentions. And then I'm just going to break this down for you guys a little bit. When I talk about reflection here is, I'd really encourage you to take some time to spend time praying and journaling, so that you can understand what feels off in your life. Like, you feel stuck right now, you want to change. Like, if you take time to write stuff down, to pray, talk to God about it, it's going to help you to understand the areas of your life that are shaking, and you can identify what you truly value in life. And when I talk about identifying your priorities, I want you to list the areas of life that matter to you the most. For me, that personally looks like faith. That's my faith in Jesus Christ. My spiritual journey, that matters to me so much, is at the top of my list. My health is very important, because I'm not the most healthy as I would love to be. I get sick very easily, and just so many things. So I really want to concentrate on my health, or as much as I would love to double the effort. Relationships, and that looks like relationships with my family. That one flows me so much. Relationships with my close friends, that are really the people that see me and I see them, and we really, we are in close relationship. And career matters to me so much, because I want to be in something that I love. I want to do something that I love. So that is so important to me, and I want to see myself grow in my career. So I'm constantly trying to learn. I'm trying to take courses here and there. So for me, those are my priorities. And also taking care of myself, that's very important to me. And if maybe you're someone who, like me, used to think taking care of yourself feels selfish, I used to feel guilty about it. I used to literally get stuff for myself and feel bad about it. Like, that was how bad it was. But I've gotten to a place where I've grown this beautiful relationship with myself, because I was able to grow a beautiful relationship with my God. And I'm in a place where I can take care of myself without feeling like, oh no, this is bad, because the reminder that God has given me a mandate to care for the things that He cares about, to love the things that He loves, and that involves the people in my life. It involves the plants outside, it involves the environment, it involves everything that He loves, He cares about, and that includes me. He also loves me, he cares about me. So the mandate to love the things that he loves and cares for the things that he cares applies to me too. And when you get to a place where you have that understanding, it really shifts your mindset on so many things, and especially when it comes to taking care of yourself. And there is a healthy way to do that, and there's also a very toxic way to do that, which is that way that the world really promotes, because there's a very selfish and toxic way to take care of yourself, in a way where you're so self-absorbed, you're caught up in your own issues, and you don't even care about anyone. And that's not what we want. Okay, so, and when I talk about setting intentions, it's just for you to clarify what you want to actually improve in those areas of your life that you've identified in prayer and journaling. Okay, and the next one is for you to strengthen your spiritual foundation. And if you're someone who is like very spiritually inclined, prayer and devotion is so important, because in prayer and devotion you rebuild your consistency, and you just be able to grow this intimate relationship with God. So maybe you can start small. Maybe like literally these things work, especially when you're feeling stuck in life and you think like everything is falling apart. You can start small. Have like 10 to 15 minutes of prayer and devotion every single day. It mustn't be at the wee hours of the morning, but you have time for it. So find time to do that. Find a beautiful community of like-minded people growing, wanting to know God, so that you can be in fellowship, maybe a Bible study group, to help you deepen your connection with God. You guys listen to sermons together, you have conversations about it. And the third one on the strengthen your spiritual foundation is for you to surrender. Surrender is such a huge part of growth, because sometimes the reason why we're feeling stuck is because we're too busy trying to control every single situation in our life and every single thing. So releasing your burdens and trusting God to actually guide your next steps in the future actually helps you to just release everything and just feel free to be yourself and just enjoy life, because life is so beautiful. Number 3 is for you to build a healthy routine. One thing I'd just like to outline here is every single step that I'm giving you actually covers the 4 pillars of life, which is your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical health. So I just really want you to pay attention. Number 3 is building a healthy routine, which looks like a morning routine, a night routine. You including some physical activity into your life, like start exercising regularly. 3 times a week works. Even if you have to go for a short walk, that works perfectly well. You make healthy choices for food. Eat something that fills your body and not just feels good in the moment. Okay, and this also actually supports your mental health. What you eat supports your mental health. Have you ever realized sometimes you eat some things and they make you sluggish and sleepy? We don't want that. Okay, and rest is very important. Prioritize resting, sleeping properly, so that you can restore your body, your mind, and also Sabbath, which is you being in community with other Christians and other like-minded people that follow you. And number 4 is simplifying your relationships. Okay, this one, listen clearly, because simplifying your relationships will look like setting boundaries. And let's be clear, this is about what you need from others, and for you to be able to communicate it respectfully. Don't just wake up and be telling people who da no, all those kind of things. But like I always say, set boundaries from a place of wisdom, because sometimes you're going to have to make a little bit of sacrifices here and there, especially for the people that you care about and love. And boundaries are actually beautiful when you know how to use them properly. It can be a beautiful way to care for your neighbor and also care for yourself, because if you always say yes, then you become a yes man and you're not even helping the other person grow, neither are you growing too, because so always evaluate that. Also evaluate your friendships. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who respect you. And even if it means having fewer connections, that's okay. Prioritize quality over quantity. This is so important. And you have to make space. So take time away from emotionally draining interactions so that you can recharge. And I know this is a hard pill to swallow, but we all have experienced people who drain us emotionally, physically, mentally, and it's tiring. Actually, there's sometimes you leave some conversation, some environment, you feel like, man, what happened to me? Your mind doesn't function properly, you feel tired in every way possible. When you start identifying those environments and those people in your life, that is when you need to start approaching it with good communication, know when you can meet them and when you cannot meet them, and just find a way to navigate all of that, okay? Because those people are so important in your life. You just have to find a way to also be respectful to them and also be respectful to yourself, okay? Number 5 is for you to focus on purposeful work. And we're talking about career here. So reassess your goal. If your current job feels unfulfilling, my friend, start considering long-term steps so that you can align your work with your passions or your values. And then try to develop your skills. So maybe invest in learning new skills, take courses, explore opportunities that will inspire growth in you. You know, sometimes when you're doing the same thing over and over again, you feel stuck, it feels boring, you're tired, you need a change. Because to be honest, goals change, priorities change as you grow in life. Something that used to make sense to you before might not make sense to you now. That comes with age, that comes with time. Some things that used to make sense to me in my early 20s do not make sense to me in my late 20s. And I love that so much, because I've seen it as a blessing now, because I got to experience something beautiful in my early 20s because I saw that thing as important. But now that I don't anymore, I see something else as important, and I'm getting to experience that beautiful thing, and it's just bringing so much light into my life. So try to see the good in all of these things, okay? And also try to find balance in your work life. So avoid overcommitting to work. Leave time to actually rest and have hobbies. Go for cycling, start taking table tennis classes, or go play around, go running, whatever it is that inspires you. Find a hobby, travel, hiking, just find something to get you balanced in your work life. And number 6 is for you to practice gratitude and celebrate your small wins. Now, what actually inspired this particular episode is the same thing. There is this beautiful app that I'm on. It's called School. It's an encouragement app, and it's also there for you to learn some new skills, because I'm also trying to learn so many other things in my life. And they have these beautiful notifications that they send every single day, like a beautiful day in check-in. So it's called Day by Day Club. It's by a YouTube influencer. She has this beautiful journal called Day by Day, and every single day she gives you like a moment to reflect. She pinpoints something. So today it was about celebrating your small wins, and today I got a message from a friend. So she was like, so she sent me this message. She actually replied to something that I posted, and she was like, I'm so happy to see you happy. And I was like, well, thank you. And to be honest, I had this moment, I just walked into the house and I saw her message, and I just had this moment where I literally broke down and I was crying, because I just feel like it's taking me so long to get here, and I'm so grateful that I'm there. I'm so grateful that I'm finding joy in the mundane, because I used to, I think, unconsciously wait for big things for me to be happy, for me to celebrate little joys. And although I used to have this childlike energy, because I do have a childlike energy, I used to always try to find joy in every single thing, because that's how I was brought up, that's how my mother is. But for some reason, I feel like I got thrown in the midst of life, and I lost that spark. I lost that childlike spark, because life was happening to me, and it stole the little childlike heart that I had. So many hurts, so much pain, so many words that were spoken to me that I didn't feel like I deserved them, and just so many things. Like I didn't see the beauty in life. People were horrible, people were hard, and the places that I used to find joy in just became dark, and places that I didn't want to go there anymore, because either the environment wasn't healthy for me, and so many things. So I lost that spark, and I was telling God, I want that spark back. I want to go back to that childlike heart where I trusted everyone. I saw the good in everything. I gave everyone benefit of doubt. Like, I would give out benefit of doubt like cards. Like, if you fail once, okay, we're gonna try again. I'm gonna keep trying. And I had this encouraging heart. I blame my name, but there's a beauty in it now. So I got to a point I was like, I'm done with everything. Like, I cannot even see anything good in life right now. And then I went through this whole journey with God because I was genuinely praying and seeking God in that area. I was like, I want that heart that trusts again, that loves everyone, that just like doesn't, and then God met me in that. And that is a beautiful thing with God. Like, so when I saw that message and I just reflected on the last couple of months and just how I fully just leaned into God. Like, this is something that I'm currently walking through. I'm not an expert at. I'm not talking from a place where I have it all figured out. No, I don't. I have some days that I still struggle with trusting God. I'm like, Lord, what about the future? What am I doing now? And all these things. I have those days where I really do so struggle. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I still come back to the mindset of I've seen God do some amazing things. I've lived through a lot of things and I just let it all go. And in the moment I let it all go, He does an amazing thing. So I've been on a journey and I was just like, I just saw God bring back my childlike heart. But at the same time, He gave me wisdom with that childlike heart, because I feel like at first I didn't used to think about a lot of things. I was one of those people who didn't think a lot. I shared a lot. I was just like living my life. I wasn't thinking about anything. There were so many things I wasn't paying attention to. But now I think I was just telling God, like, I still don't want to pay attention to so many things because not everything needs my attention. But I was just like, direct my focus to pay attention to the things that truly matter. And just give me wisdom with how I will go through life. So I still want to have my spark and all those things. And I just love how the Lord has been redeeming me and restoring me and healing me from the inside out. Like, I genuinely feel like a new person. And I remember looking at that message and I just broke down, because I was like, I've literally worked so hard and I've leaned in so much to God. I've felt myself being crushed. He's put me through the fire and just remolded me. He's refined me, and refining is a hard process. So it wasn't easy, but I felt like I've been resilient with it, and I told myself, I'm gonna heal, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna evolve, and I want to be a better version of myself. I want the previous me to look at the future me or the present me and be like, I'm so happy that you're there right now. So I just love where I am in life. So celebrate your little wins. So I'm just saying all of these things because when I read that message and then I read that notification, I was like, this is a beautiful win for me to celebrate, because I genuinely feel very happy with where I am in life. And I think God wants that for all of us. He does. Doesn't mean I don't have problems. Trust me, I do. I could use some help with my problems right now, but I love that I have peace in the middle of all of the storms that I'm experiencing. So reflect daily on what you are thankful for. This actually shifts your mindset towards positivity. So just look at your day, at your week from time to time, and celebrate the small steps that you've taken towards your future, towards having a better day than you had yesterday. Number 7 is for you to take it slow. Now, I know you want to align your life. You have so many things you want to fix. If you try to do all of these things at the same time, you might crash because it's going to feel overwhelming. If you try to just shoot for, put in a 10-step routine, morning and evening, and reading 20 books and trying to take 10 courses, or trying to invest in all your relationships at the same time, you are going to crash. So I want you to really practice patience and grace. Patience in just like truly aligning yourself, and just knowing that it will take time. Embrace the journey, because progress actually feels very slow. You really don't know until you're on the other side, until it's been 2-3 years later. Someone else sent me a photo today, and she sent me a photo from 2023. I think at the beginning of the year 2023, and she was like, look at how far we've come now and everything. So I met that person in 2022, and for some beautiful reason we just clicked. And that picture that she sent me in 2023 2023 we looked like babies, and this is 2025. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm first of all so grateful for you, but at the same time I was like, look at how we looked, and just like look at how much we've grown. You're on a beautiful journey, I'm on a beautiful journey, and we've been learning, we've been growing together. And it's just so beautiful when you can look at yourself from a bird's eye view, and then you can just see how much growth you've done, how much things you've been through, and how it's been beautifully woven together by God. It's a beautiful tapestry. And just be kind to yourself. Extend grace to others as well as yourself. Because during setbacks and struggles, you're going to need that grace, you're going to need that kindness, you're going to need to talk to yourself better, and you're going to need to just be kind to yourself. There's this research that I've been doing and just been working on so many things and trying to learn about a lot of things with the brain, neurodivergent, who a polymath is, and all these beautiful things that I've been trying to learn lately. And I just feel like the Lord has been like really changing how I see life, how it looks like, and just so many things in between. But what was I trying to say? I just lost my train of thought. But that beautiful reminder that we are all a work in progress. Even the people that you think have it all figured out, is a good thing for you to have at the back of your mind. So I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, I'm hoping that everything I've said actually makes sense with you guys. But I really just want to encourage you to have a bird's eye view kind of mindset or perspective to life. And that looks like you looking at life from above, where you look at the world spread out into its entirety, and the details actually blend into patterns. A bird's eye view is you actually seeing life as a whole. Every twist, every turn, every moment actually fits together like it's a grand, beautiful tapestry, making sense only when you step back and you actually reflect. So that's you living life from a bird's eye view. And this is one thing that for me, I just told myself I want to live by. I want to just have a bird's eye view kind of mindset. Every single time something is going on, good or bad, I always just think about how beautiful it will be in 4 or 5 years time, or in 5 months time, and I look back and I'm like, oh, that's why that was happening, or this is why it was happening. And like I was talking about the child, like, eyes or view on life, I actually had that moment today when I was just looking at everything from a bird's eye view, and I'm just like, wow, so this is why this happened, so this is why this happened. And I'm just gonna close this off with really just encouraging you as we're running off this era of the podcast. It's been a beautiful journey. The one thing that I've seen this podcast do is really change me. I've been able to grow as a person. I've been able to learn so many things that I don't think by myself I would have learned it. But I've challenged myself. I've learned a little bit more about everything and anything. I've gotten to ask a lot of difficult questions to God and to myself and to the people around me and in my community. And I got to a place where I've really reconciled so many things in my life as a person, and with my relationship with God, and with the people that He has placed in my life, and with family, and with my career, and with just everything. But I feel like this podcast has grown me so much. It's been one of the things that constantly keeps me on my feet in a very beautiful and positive way. And it's also attracted the worst things that I could have ever thought about in my life, that I would never have thought I would have ever experienced them, because my life is out there. I share a lot, which I've been trying not to share as much on the social media platforms, but mostly just keep everything here on the podcast. But just the fact that I'm sharing my life, and just like I'm a very free and open person, it does attract some really horrible situations, really hard things that I would have never ever thought that I would ever experience them. But they happen to me because God was either, I'm not saying God made them to happen to me, I'm just saying the events of life actually taught me so much and actually pushed me to a place where I was forced to grow, because if not, I would have probably remained in a very comfortable position in my life. My faith has been challenged so much with this podcast. I've been able to learn so much about God. I've taken time away from time to time just to seek my Creator, which is something that I'm about to do again as I launch into the next phase of this podcast. I will be taking some time off. That's why I am we're ending on episode 88, and then we're gonna come back with some very exciting things. But I'm taking some time off because I want to align myself with some things with my Creator that I just think it needs attention. And it's just so beautiful, because I think I was telling someone the other day that I love where I am in life, because I just feel like stepping away from so many things doesn't hurt as much as I would think it would, because I was like, it then means that my worth and my identity is not really attached to these things, which is something that I've always wanted and I've always prayed for. And I have this dangerous prayer, like me and my friend, we call it a very dangerous 3 to 5 business days prayer, where God answers this very fast, where I'm like, Lord, if there is anything or anyone that is not meant to be in my life, or anything that I'm doing that is out of your will, that is taking me away from you, I want you to take it out. Like, it might be hard, I might miss it, it's gonna be horrible, but please take it out. And God answers that prayer as fast as we can say fight or flight. And it's always a beautiful turnaround, because every single time He takes it out, something beautiful is being replaced by it. And there has been so many things in my life that have fallen off. They were falling off, they were so hard. But then I looked at so many things the other day, and I was telling a colleague of mine, I was like, it's amazing how life got good the moment some things fell off. And like, what happened to me? Because like, it literally took overnight. And it's like, and that's the beautiful thing with God. Sometimes you might be praying for 10 years and He does something in one weekend or in one day. And that, for me, that's the kind of situation I had. And like, literally, things just came into place in the blink of an eye. And I was like, wow, God, wow. And it was a hard prayer, but it was a beautiful prayer. But I'm just trying to say, I'm so grateful for this platform. And no matter how it looks like and where it's headed to, and whether it grows or it doesn't grow, I just know that the Lord has put something in my heart, and I just want to be a good steward of it. And I just want to keep doing the podcast. I just want to keep enjoying the journey. I don't want to put pressure on myself, or whether it's growing or whether it's not growing, or how it looks like, or how many people are viewing or how many people are not viewing, because the people that are meant to find it will find it. And if it's for them, it's for them. And like, maybe that's an encouragement to you with whatever you're putting your hands on, or your efforts in, or whatever it is. Stop thinking about, the million people who are not seeing it, and think about the 2 or 3 that are seeing it and it's actually changing their lives, because it's actually for them. And also thinking about that, the fact that it's for God, it's for His glory, and not for you, and not for any other thing. Like, me just knowing that God is pleased with me carrying out the thing that He has placed in my heart, just me living in obedience, no matter how that looks. I just want to enjoy the journey. And I love doing what I do. I love learning. I love being a brain geek for some beautiful reason. And I just love the journey that I've been able to go on, and the people that I've been able to meet because of this beautiful podcast. Some beautiful ladies who have literally walked into my life and practically changed it, came into my life through this podcast, and they're also podcasters, so which is so beautiful. And just even other people who are not podcasters, and so many things. I've just been able to experience people in another way, and I'm getting to live a life where now I have this different level of connection with people, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm really grateful that this platform is here. I'm able to share in the little ways that I can, and for anyone who listens and is just blessed by it, I'm so grateful that you're here too. And I just believe that God God wants us to grow, guys. He wants us, like, he takes us as we are, he's not fussing. He's a beautiful God and everything, but then he does call us higher. He wants you to learn, he wants you to grow. And I'm someone that I'm very growth oriented. I have a growth mindset, which doesn't sit well with everyone, which is okay, because I've also learned on my journey of life that not everyone sees life the way I see it, which is okay, and doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't neither make me a bad person. I just believe we all learn from each other, okay? So that's just another reminder that if you don't see life the way other people see it, don't label them. They're just the way they are, you and also just the way you are. And the thing with all of us right now is we're too quick to do whatever we're trying to do. This person, this person, this, like, guys, we can all learn something from each other, even if we don't agree with each other, okay? But yeah, so I practically rambled the end of all of this, got emotional in the middle, because I'm just so grateful, and I cannot wait for us to get into next season. And I pray that you guys also take some time to rest and plan life, put things in place, prioritize the things that needs prioritizing. Right now for me, that looks like enough time with Jesus, enough time to rest, pay attention to my body, pay attention to my mind, because I just love where I am. So I'm not gonna say I want to protect that, but I know God is protecting it. But I also want to continue learning and growing in a way that where I am right now is going to just continue flourishing and being green. And because I know that the enemy is after your peace and your calmness, so it just looks like a lot of paying attention to the spiritual part of life, paying attention to the physical part of life too, and just everything, So guys, I will see you guys, or we will talk when we come back from this beautiful break. Possibly that's gonna be in March, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for everything that God has in store. And I cannot wait to see all of us thrive and just emerge and just grow. God bless you, fam. And enjoy your time. God bless you. Bye-bye.